Hello, welcome to the Adrenaline All-American Lacrosse Game for 2019. I'm Patrick McEwen from Inside Lacrosse. Excited to be here in the booth with Tari Kandemiri, perhaps better known by her social media handle, Official Lax Girl, along with Inside Lacrosse's Josh Davey down the sidelines. We have a tremendous level of talent here on display in this game. What do you think, Tari?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some of the best players in the West ready to compete, have a great game, and yeah, show what they're made of.
Welcome back. That was a nice look at both kind of the history of the event as well as the level of talent, the type of plays that we're going to be hopefully seeing again here this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's great that we'll see that the South coach, Megan Carney, she's back. She was MVP for last year's game, and she's back here coaching, helping that next generation. So it's going to be great to watch her on the sidelines.
And we're going to hear from her, from Josh Davey down the sideline. Josh? Well, we will hear from Josh later as we get that sorted out. Any thoughts on the game, Tari?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm excited to see these young ladies, show off on such a great stage, and I think it's an amazing opportunity in any capacity to play with people at such a high level and showcase your skills. I know we have our stream going. We have parents and family friends in the stands, so it's a great atmosphere. I got a chance to watch them warming up a little bit for both teams, and you could tell that the intensity was definitely there, but they all see this as a great opportunity to have fun and play against some competition they'll likely have in the future or play with in the future. So it seemed like everyone had some great vibes going around.
Okay, now we're going to give another try there. Josh down in the field with Megan Carney, coach of the South.
Sorry, Patrick. Sorry about that. I have Coach Megan Carney with me right now. She was the MVP of this game last year. Megan, what makes this event so special?
Definitely being the second year with the girls program and just how it's like all West girls. It's really spreading the game of lacrosse.
Who are some of the girls you guys had practice this morning? Who are some of the girls you're looking to make a splash today?
We got some strong attackers. Got Anna Winkler, strong feeder. Jay Brown, Caroline Cheatham, a solid defender. Chloe Hunter, a solid midfield.
You just finished up your first year at Syracuse, had an awesome freshman year. What are some of the lessons you learned in this game that you took with you up to upstate New York?
Definitely just having fun. It's just like a different pace of a game where everyone's like at the same level as you, and it's just a lot more fun and a lot faster.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Patrick, back to you.
Thank you, Josh. Next, we're going to take a look at some of the players, go through the lineups for these different teams and highlight a couple of the players you can expect to stand out even among these standout players. We'll start off with the South team, featuring any players, any one player you want to start off talking about, Tari, that really sticks out to you on the South lineup.
Sure, yeah. So I think Megan mentioned a couple of them, but definitely Anna Winkler on the feeds and Chloe Hunter on defense. But, we also saw them playing kind of both sides of the ball during warm-ups, and you can tell that they had super solid stick skills. So it's just going to be a matter of watching it all take shape. And they had a little bit of time to practice earlier today, but now it's game time.
There is Anna Winkler. Camden O'Donnell, Caroline Cheatham.
Chloe Hunter, who we mentioned previously.
Yep.
And we had a great pregame player interviews with all these players for both teams, and really got down by position to discuss, what it's like playing with new people, but playing with the competition at such a high level. And I think they're all really excited to have fresh teammates, a fresh perspective, and I'm sure they'll be quick to figure it out. I doubt that there'll be really any gap in finding those seams and making plays.
Shaylin Murphy, Shay Henderson.
And I think something, too, that I was just kind of poking around on my phone before the game, Mackenzie DeMeo, who she may have passed her, you'll see her on the field. Her brother actually plays at Maryland now. So, again, and he was a player on last year's team for the boys game. So just seeing that pipeline and, props to Adrenaline for creating such a great event and giving these players a chance to highlight themselves before going off to play in the college game.
We're going to head back down to the field and talk to Josh, is with the coach of the North.
I am here on the field with the North coach, Morgan Widener. She is currently on the roster for the Syracuse Orange. She is coaching the North team, originally from Dallas. What is so cool about this event, and how has an event like this helped change, the way lacrosse is played in an area that we're not as familiar with in Dallas?
Well, an event like this is just super awesome. It's super cool, having the Under Armour game, senior game, seeing a bunch of girls from the North being super highlighted, and then all of a sudden the Adrenaline game, the girls being added to the edition. It's just a great way to highlight girls, that are from the South, from the West, that have great skill, just as highlighted as some of the girls who grew up, Long Island, Maryland, and, get us some attention as they're heading into the college game.
Awesome. So who are some of the girls today on the North squad we should be keeping an eye out for?
Definitely on the middies, I think Maya and Essie, super tall, aggressive, fast girls. We have Grace and Emma on D, super tenacious, ground balls, gritty, draw teams sick, and it's just super exciting seeing some Colorado and California girls.
Awesome. Good luck. Thanks for the time. Patrick, back up to you.
Thanks, Josh. Now we're going to take a look at some of the players on this North squad. Any players you want to start off that really stand out to you, Tari?
Yeah, for sure. I think Morgan touched on pretty much all the players I had in mind, but definitely Essie. Saw her getting really scrappy with the ground balls during the warm-ups. And then Sloan Murphy, who's headed to USC, was really, really great with their stick and great movement in front of the goal, getting open and getting those shots off. So should be great to watch them all take form.
Ashley Lang going to be in goal, headed to UC Davis. Charlotte Swisher highlighting not just we don't just have some talented lacrosse players here. You actually have some great students as well. Is headed to Harvard.
Yeah, I've got all great schools, and something that really struck me in the pregame interviews was the mention of picking their schools based on academics and athletics. So that awareness of the future, including lacrosse and the classroom, and potentially maybe becoming a pro or pursuing a different field. So yeah, lots of talented on and off the field.
Yeah, another example there. Taylor DeGroff headed to Princeton, another Ivy League student. Here you can take a look at the rosters for both squads. To see some of the great schools we have student athletes headed to, UC Berkeley, Harvard, Princeton, Yale.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome that there's a spread of where people are headed. Some mentioned that they wanted to stay on the West Coast for the heat, for the warmth, and then we had a couple that were pumped to go to the East Coast because they love snow. So it's great to think back to making that college decision and what factors I took into account, and kind of reminiscing about that.
Take a look down there at some of the North players as they go through their final warm-ups before we get started. Valuable time for them to kind of hash out some final things with their teammates, figure out the strategy, what they're going to be trying to do headed into this game. It's always interesting to see the different strategies that coaches try to put in when you have 2 hours of practice with a bunch of players, many of whom have not much playing experience ever playing together, of who's going to try to run some sets versus who's more out just to roll the ball at coach and let the players play.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you'll notice Coach Morgan Widener on her side has a clipboard and is taking notes. She's been taking note about who's a righty, who's a lefty, and doing a great job of taking stock of her team.
North getting up some shots here in warm-ups. It was important to get those sticks dialed in before the game. there any thoughts, Tari, on what to look for from teams coming out of the warm-ups? If you're coaching one of these teams, what are you hoping to get out of your girls
Sure.
for the game?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, making sure sticks are warm. As I mentioned, they were out here for about 30 minutes before this, and got all the jitters out before the game, and made sure that their sticks were dialed in. But also a matter of getting those 3v2s, 4v3s in, making sure your goalies get some shots and are also warmed up. You can't just throw your goalie in there. But I think just working out those nerves in a game like this, like you mentioned. One day of practice, or today, right before the game. So I'm sure there's jitters and nerves and trying to understand how each person plays, but the coaches seem to be doing a great job of keeping that under control and taking account what their teams are good at.
And just getting used to, I think, the facility. It's a little bit different environment that a lot of these girls are used to playing in. We're inside here at the Cowboys practice facility, so you have both the level of the facilities is a notch up, at least a notch up, sometimes 2, 3, 4 notches up from what you're seeing at typical high school stadiums, and this kind of has really gives this game a big time feel to it.
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the biggest things to note is obviously the size of the venue. There's screens, there's all these different things, but they've earned it. They've earned the chance to play in such an amazing venue with so many great additions to it. So I'm sure they're all taking advantage and enjoying it. It's a beautiful turf, and they'll get the chance to go back and rewatch themselves playing. So I'm sure they're loving it.
And also getting used to the lighting. The indoor lighting can be a little bit different.
Definitely.
It is great. It is really nice in here, but not always the case in some indoor facilities.
Yeah, definitely. If the ball's a little high and the lights are in your face, it can be hard to catch. But hopefully the ceilings are tall enough that won't be an issue for these teams.
I think so. I think we got some big, tall enough ceilings for NFL punters.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be okay in that regard.
We're set.
We are going to take a quick break before we come back to start the game.
Word life, kid. Get it. Hip hop.
Adrenaline's been a great sponsor for us this year. We came in and got all new gear. We got some new jackets and some shooter shirts and some new uniforms. All this stuff's been really light.
It was light, it was comfortable.
They are the product on the West Coast, and that's spreading to the East Coast.
Welcome back to our broadcast of the 2019 Adrenaline All-American game. Teams getting a little final message from their coaches before we have the national anthem. What do you think? What would you be saying to your players if you were a coach down there, Tari?
I think I'd be telling them to take in the moment and enjoy it. There's no reason to stress. I think in a game like this, everyone's proved themselves to be the best of the best, and it's just a great showcase of their talent. And like I said, they're in such a beautiful venue, and getting the chance to play here, play in this game, is just something that they should enjoy.
See a team cheer there from the south. Look over into the north huddle as they go over some final instructions, potentially figuring out who is actually in the starting lineup before players will come out for the national anthem. Get a look there over at the south team in white, being in the home whites, I guess. Being in the southern half of the western United States, it's only fitting that the south is wearing the home whites.
Yeah, wearing home colors.
Get a cheer there from the north.
Yeah, you can tell there's a lot of great energy. I think we're in for a treat, and I'm excited to watch them play.
Moments away from the national anthem here. Teams lined up on the sidelines, getting those last-minute pregame jitters out of the way, hopefully, before they take the field.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to ask that each and every one of you please stand and rise for the national anthem.
And with that, we are all but ready to begin here at the 2019 Adrenaline All-American Lacrosse game.
Yeah, it's game time. Let's see how these teams start off. I'm curious to see, who starts, the tempo that they set, all of that. I think this is going to be a high-powered game, and probably going to see the ball in the air a lot of quick passes and movement. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll start off the all-important draw control, especially in a game with as many talented offensive players as this game will have, where you defensively you don't necessarily have time to put in. You're just worried about your basic communication. Don't have time to put in any defenses to really think you're going to be confident to shut down an offense. How important is the draw control?
I mean, the draw, much as with any game, is important. It's pretty vital that that the team that wins the draws gets the ball, gets the most possessions, and has the most chances to score. So possession is what it's all about. But just because a team gets the ball off the draw doesn't mean that it's completely theirs. There's always the ride and great defense, and I think we have great players all over the field. So it'll be a battle no matter what, no matter who gets it.
Have S.E. Atherton for the North up against Maddie Barkate for the South on this opening draw. See them making sure they have the right personnel in the field. Always potentially an issue. Get the right numbers out there. Everybody knows what they're supposed to be. You don't have repeated starting lineups to go back to. And we are underway. Barkate comes out with it.
South's got the possession.
Pushes down. She finds, and a nice save there.
Great save.
By Lang in goal for the North. Made a stop on number 22, Winkler, for the South. And you see going back the other way.
Yep, and then there's that South ride. Weren't necessarily able to get it back, but they were able to slow her down and set up.
A nice attempt there from Morse for the North. Get our first whistle of the game.
Yep, looks like one of the teams may be offsides, or someone went over right on time.
Refs look like they're double counting, counting again to make sure that they get the call right, and we'll go back to the South, headed the other way. Barkate with the ball, throws it up ahead.
Yep, pass a little long. Looks like the North is going to get that back.
Yep, and they do. It's Nye with the ball for the North. An interception there.
Yep.
Get it. Another great save by Lang. It's a heck of a confidence boost for a goalie to come up with two big stops on relatively uncontested shots there in front.
Yeah, it was basically 1v1 with the goalie, and she stood tall on that. You can tell that North's got speed, and they're able to get that ball in, but you see that South defense settle so quickly and so well, just swarms the ball and gets it under control.
Here is Atherton in front with a shot that goes wide. Be backed up by the North. We'll retain possession. We'll look to see probably one of the first settled possessions. The North's going to attack right away. And another great save.
That was Kaufman with the save.
Yeah. Kaufman for the South. Courtney Kaufman headed to Tufts next year. Makes her first stop of the game. So we had so far goalies 3, shooters nothing. As the South will work the ball down the field. Out of kind of their first settled clear. They've had a couple transition attempts so far.
And it's interesting to already see that notable difference.
Ooh, and it looks like it rings off a post there.
Shot by number 16, Maddie.
And the North will counterattack here. So they get a dodge in front and a nice goal, excellent goal there.
Sloan Murphy.
By Sloan Murphy, yeah, headed to USC.
That was a great goal, and what I was mentioning earlier is you can kind of see the difference in the transition. The South kind of runs it up themselves, and they're charging to goal, whereas I think the South are taking some more passes and really taking time to set up their offense. So it'll be interesting to see that run and gun style versus the more settled offensive plan.
It's a nice job there by striking in transition with a dodge. Even though you didn't necessarily have numbers, you can coming downhill before the defense is really set up, able to get to the goal before the help defense can get to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be Barkate again on the draw. North will swap it out and go with Morse. You see a righty draw versus Barkate taking it righty and Morse taking it lefty.
And that's a draw in by the North.
Yeah, it's an excellent one-handed grab by Morse for the North squad as they will look to set up their offense.
And you just see that South defense swarming.
Excellent defensive pressure there.
Winkler with that ground ball, and they're taking it in.
Pass in front. The North defense will be right there and force the South to settle it up outside, look to get set up in their offense. Dodge here underneath. Oh, sneaks it in. Look.
Camden O'Donnell with that goal. A great shot on the crease and a great job avoiding. Oh, we've got a Sally.
Going with the row, the canoe. Rowing, an often tradition of these type of All-American All-Star games. Players taking the opportunity to celebrate. It's a great job tiptoeing the crease there. You a fan of the celebrations?
Yeah, I love a good celebration. I'm sure anyone who follows me on Twitter saw the discussion about the USA women's team, women's soccer team beating Thailand 13-0, and those celebrations. I think when you accomplish something, you should always celebrate it, as long as you're respectful of your opponents. So.
Nice draw control win there by the South. It's Kaiser. Will give up the ball, give her teammate an opportunity. South will look to initiate from behind. Excellent defense there by White for the North, able to put the ball on the ground.
Just a little overzealous on that check, so South gets it back and back to work.
It's an excellent redodge there. The rocker step trying to pull it out. The defender gets over aggressive and she comes back inside. Puts the shot wide and the South will retain possession.
Chong Ahmed there to back it up and get it back for her team, keeping it on their end.
Attempted inside roll. Some excellent defense there by Moretti for the North to turn back the inside roll. Dodging, rolling. That shot for the South goes wide.
South really liking working from behind the goal.
Yeah, it was a bit, they set up a little, potentially a pick and roll set behind. They both come around. Maybe a little bit of a moving pick there goes uncalled. This shot for the South goes wide again. They will retain possession. It's been a long possession for the South here. Put up a number of shots that have gone wide and able to back up.
Yeah, that North defense just won't let them in, won't take that pressure off. As you can see, there's been a couple of drop balls and some empty stick checks called after they get the ball, or some bad checks, but
yeah.
The North getting the job done on defense.
It's Jay Brown working with the feed over to Kaiser for the goal there.
That was great awareness right off the whistle, knowing her teammate was open and ready to take the shot.
You see Brown has the foul, but he's able to draw the help defender and move the ball off to Kaiser for the goal.
Yeah, I'm sure Coffin would want to have that one back. It seemed like it just snuck past her.
Yeah, but that's you're in close. You're in close there. Those are always tough as a goalie, that you maybe wish you you always want it back, but but you can't ever save them all, and that's a tough save to make on an uncontested shot. Absolutely. right on the crease there. We get Lawless for the North. Able to get the ball over to her teammate to pick up the possession on the draw control for the North. We'll see them attack here.
I think we're going to see
Cheatham we fouled. Looks like she...
right outside of the 8.
Yeah, is not going to get the free possession shot there.
Nice. A quick pass to Lawless. And they answer right back.
Yeah, very, very similar kind of situation to what happened down on the other end. You get a foul. You get a foul, and the girl goes behind her, and somebody else has to come over, and the defense isn't quite organized enough to be able to get everybody rotating to be able to pick up all the attackers down by the goal.
Definitely.
So Hemrick will come take this draw for the South. We've seen both teams using a number of different players on draws here so far.
We're going to get a redraw on that one. Ball didn't go up high enough.
Can always be tricky in games like this, that you sometimes have a lot of girls who are taking draws for their high school teams, and it hasn't quite shaken out who's going to end up, who really is going to be a draw specialist at the next level.
And I think they're pretty lucky to have Morgan Widener on their sideline for the for the North team. That's their specialty at Syracuse. So they're getting some tips from one of the best.
Shea Henderson carries the ball in here for the South, and she's fouled. I believe is going to get a free position from that one hash over from center.
And first free position of the game.
Henderson carries over and is able to stick it just inside the far post for the goal for the South. Shea Henderson on the free position. See there, Ducks is able to keep it in her strong right hand, avoid the check with a little bit of a face dodge, and go back to the far post around the goalie there to pick up a goal for the South and pull them within one. I'm sorry, for the North.
And you can tell for pretty much all the goals we've seen, maybe 4 out of 5, the players are able to get really close in there with the goalies and use their sticks to get that ball in there without obstructing the circle. So gonna keep an eye out for that, for those close in shots.
Get a little bit of a switch up on the draw here. 2 players we haven't seen taking a draw yet. Chloe Hunter for the South is able to come up with the ground ball here, loses it.
Chloe Hunter runs it for South.
Is able to carry in and set up the South with a possession. We are going to go down to Josh on the sidelines for our first interview of the game. Josh?
I'm here with Maddie Barkate. She took the first draw of the game for the South team. What has the speed been like? You know, you're coming in, you're going to Harvard next year from the West Coast, St. Margaret's. What's the speed been like taking the first draw, playing with some new friends, girls you've never played with before?
Well, honestly, I was a little nervous because I haven't played with I've played with most of these girls at some point before, but I haven't played with them for a while. And it's really fast because we're all just really hyped up and we want to do a really good job and we want to win. And so it's just been really quick and it's been really fun. It's great to get to play at that speed again because it's been high school season for a little bit.
Absolutely. You're going to Harvard. What made Harvard the place for you?
Well, everyone always told me that when you step on campus, you would feel that this was your school, and I was always thought that was a cliche and didn't really believe it. But the minute I stepped on Harvard's campus for my unofficial, I knew that was like the place I wanted to be, and it just felt right. And obviously, there are a lot of logically great reasons to choose Harvard as well. Absolutely,
and I'll let you get back into it, but you're out here with the best of the West. What makes an event like this so special?
I think that just the fact, I mean, you said it's the best in the West. It's an event that happens once each year that girls dream about getting to play again in. And for me, this is just a dream come true. This is something I wanted to do since I decided I wanted to play college lacrosse. And so it's surreal. And thank you so much for putting it on.
It's my pleasure. You can thank Alex K, the Adrenaline guys, but I'll let you get back out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Back to you, Patrick.
Thank you, Josh. Hearing from Maddie Barkate there. Got a free position here for the South. That is number 6, Denise, with the goal there.
Yeah, and then we got to see a great sequence, some pretty scrappy ground ball work before this goal, so you can see how intense. You know, Maddie mentioned the level of play and the speed, and everyone's hyped to be there. So, you know, putting on a show, showing their best work.
That one gets a bounce right off of the goalies. I always feel so bad for goalies. If you're going to give up a goal, you know, it's best not to get hit by the ball. The ones that hit you, get hit in the leg and give up a goal seems like the worst of both situations.
That's fair. But you know, she's had those couple really good saves too, and like you said, can't save them all. But I'm sure she'll keep an eye out for those bouncers for the next one. And free positions are a little tough as well. The attacker is pretty much right there, coming straight at you. But I'm sure we'll see another save from her soon.
So Murphy picks up the ball here for the North squad on the draw.
And the North's starting to pass it around a little bit more. Not so much run and gun on this play.
A nice dodge carrying it in past the help defense as well. And another great save from Kaufman. We've seen a couple of incredible saves from our goalies here so far.
Yeah. And Kaufman, those clears, as you can see, I mean, she's clearing 30, 40 yards with ease, making those really great long passes to her team. So that's something that it's great to take note of as well.
Oh, a great feed inside there. I think Chloe Hunter comes in and knocks the ball away. Great defensive play there.
Yeah, it seems like she's all over the field, and I'm sure that the South team is pumped to have her.
We get, I think, first timeout of the game here.
As the clock winds down.
Yeah, I guess we're going to let the clock run out on the quarter, I think. Yeah, I believe they will reset the clock here. It did wind down. I believe called timeout probably to set up this final possession. What do you think they go with here, Tari?
I think they go behind the goal again. If we can get someone maybe on the right side of that crease and just curl one around and get the shot off pretty quickly. I don't know if they have a lot of time to set up and try to pass it around. So, might see who's had some luck on the crease and or maybe try to draw some shooting space and get a free possession.
What do you think they do defensively? You think we get selective shutout, maybe deny the ball adjacent and try to blow up whatever play they're about to run?
I think defensively they, stick to whatever they've been doing. Maybe a man, maybe go for a double if you want to. I mean, there's only about 9 seconds, so not too much to lose. But probably try to avoid the foul just because you don't want to, go into the quarter maybe down by 1. You want to maintain that morale and still have it as a tie game.
So you're coaching avoid fouling. Don't give them a free position shot.
Yep.
It is, I believe that's number 22, Anna Winkler, is going to start with the ball in her stick. And we'll see what the South has drawn up with these remaining seconds.
I think the announcer said there's 17 seconds. We'll see once the clock loads up. But you can already hear the talk from the defense, gearing up to make the move to whoever's on ball.
Yeah, it gives you some time to talk over your rotations with that timeout there, and maybe figure out who needs to go where to get everything D'd up. It's a great check there.
Yeah, just a little bit in the face. It's going to go back to the South.
It's Emma White knocking the ball away for the North squad. Tess Kaiser with the ball for the South, back up to Winkler. I'm not sure what that whistle was for.
Looks like the clock wasn't moving, but we've got just about 3 seconds.
Chloe Hunter steps in front and goes to the left hand, pulls it back near post.
Just in time. You see that great dodge by Chloe Hunter. With only about 5 seconds left on the clock, she was able to get that in there.
They're going, looks like they're trying the bench press celebration there.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see throughout the game what celebrations they've got in their back pocket, but Hunter making an impact as soon as she got into the game with that fantastic draw control, great play on defense, and now a great dodge at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, able to dodge to her right hand, split back left to get that better angle shot and pull it up and give the South a 4-3 lead heading into the end of the quarter here. As the players take a break, we are going to take a break ourselves.
Adrenaline's been a great sponsor for us this year. We came in and got all new gear. We got some new jackets and some shooter shirts and some new uniforms. All this stuff's been really light.
It was light, it was comfortable.
They are the product on the West Coast, and that's spreading to the East Coast.
Word life, kid. Get it. Hip hop. Word life, kid. Hip hop. Word life, kid. Make it happen. Word life, kid.
Welcome back to the 2019 Adrenaline All-American Game. I'm Patrick McEwen here with Tari Kandemiri. Quick thoughts on that first quarter before you toss it down to Josh. Tari?
Yeah, first quarter was amazing. I mean, we saw a lot of fast pace, some really great plays, a lot of movement in the midfield, and I think we have one of our star players for Q1.
Yeah, we have one of those midfielders down there with Josh Davey in the sideline. Josh is with Chloe Hunter. Josh?
Chloe Hunter in the sideline. We scored that last goal. How did it develop for you guys?
So we had a little trick play going. Anna Winkler passed it off to me, and it was supposed to be like a hidden cradle. So she came off of it, and then it opened up a path for me to score. So more.
Your coaches are getting after it over here on the sideline with some celebrations. How cool is it to play for Charlotte and Megan, two people who have, really been huge in establishing lacrosse down here in Texas?
It's awesome. I've grown up playing against Charlotte and Megan, and it's people like this playing against them that makes you into the players we are today. So it's pretty awesome.
And you're going to Penn next year. What makes Penn so special to you?
The culture. Everybody works hard there, and they work hard for each other, and that's something I want to bring out in myself, so I'm very excited.
Awesome. Congratulations. Get back out there. Patrick, back to you.
Thank you, Josh. As we get underway, she was really one of the players that stood out to me in the first half. Not only that goal, but making some plays on the defensive end and just looking like potentially somebody who, on a field of great athletes, is maybe just a kind of a cut above in terms of her quickness and speed through the middle of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, the fact that she was able to play so well on both sides and make an impact within 5 minutes of coming in just speaks to that talent. So
we'll see the South go back to Maddie Barkate on the draw against Maya Lawless.
got a win for the South. Oh, contested ground ball. Oh, what a beautiful check. Called, looks like it might have been a little towards the body.
Haley Moore. There will get that center hash free position. I know it's a favorite of yours, Tari.
Yeah, that's in my opinion, the best. Maybe one to the left, but those two are bar none.
She'll carry the ball in and put one low right. Yeah, put the bouncer past to give the South a 5-3 lead.
Goal by number 23, Haley Moore.
Almost looked there for a moment like she couldn't decide if she wanted to shoot it or run in.
That might have been intentional. You got to throw off the goalie somehow. When you're point blank, make sure you get it in there. Those are usually some of the easier shots we get as attackers. So taking advantage and making it look good.
Go back to the draw circle. We'll get
South wins it
Barcade
again.
using that height. She's probably one of the taller, if not the tallest players out there, able to reach up for that draw control.
Yeah, that was a great interception on defense. South got it back, but you can see number 6, Trina Chow, working hard on that defense.
And South will operate behind the cage with Winkler, putting it in her left hand. We'll get some cuts up in front. She'll roll back to the right and feed in front.
That was a fantastic feed from Winkler, and I think we talked about that in the opening, that she was a feeder, and right there she proves that vision.
Yeah, finding Jay Brown there, cutting with her right hand in front for the goal to put the South up 6-3. Get a look at the replay of she's really the third cutter through there. You had Barcade and Moore cutting through, drawing defenders out of the way, and then she's able to fill in that seam right in behind them with the third cut through for the goal there. Just
about a wide open goal. She caught the goalie off guard a little bit and able to put that in the net.
There she is. Always somewhat of a risk in a game like this when you get a run against you. You got to find a way to stem the tide, even more than on a usual game as the ball goes back to the South.
Absolutely, and North doing their best to get the ball, but South's just powerful. That was a great shot.
It's a nice transition goal. That is Winkler getting, after her assist, comes back with a goal for herself there in transition.
Yeah, and the South's just moving the ball beautifully, seeing each other really well and seeing those gaps. It's like they practiced for months.
And that is I believe 4 goals in a row for the South that you get. North really needs somebody defensively to make a hustle play, get them a ball, get them a possession. In games like this, when it's really all about pride. You always worry what can happen if a team. You worry about it in general, but especially in these type of games, things start not going your way. There's Barcade again reaching up for another draw control.
Yeah, Barcade with that height, just taking advantage of the hops and the height to get the ball.
Here's JoJo Gum weaving between defenders. She will look up and thread a pass through, and an excellent save there.
Up.
A little behind the back. There's our first behind the back attempt of the game.
Yeah, it's from Barcade. She's feeling the juice.
Yeah, well, when you win 3 draw controls in a row, I feel like you get, if you waste a possession, get a little fancy, your teammates will be okay with that.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, it's a great time to have fun. Oh.
There she is with
snuck it in right in the 5-hole.
Yeah, the wing dodge, the left to right split underneath from the wing. Keeps the stick in her right hand after the split and sticks it low. Not much of an angle there. Really a nice sharp shot from Maddie Barcade there.
Absolutely, and I think we're noticing a little bit of, not necessarily a weakness, but I think there's some holes on that left side of the goal. Defense not necessarily able to contain the South team as they're coming in and just shooting. Stick side hip.
That is one that she's going to want back there. That Lang is going to want back there in goal. That it sticks it almost right off of her body, kind of jams her up inside in her hands, and puts it really between the head of her stick and her body, which is just a tough goal to give up.
Yeah, absolutely. Like South's just able to sneak those goals in. It's like they're finding that perfect seam and able to put the ball where it needs to be.
And we get a timeout from the North team. I think a well-used momentum timeout there from the North coaching staff. You find yourself after things were tied up at 2, you're on a 6-1 run for the South.
Yeah, definitely. And again, this is for fun. I dare say no one really has anything to prove here, so why not just have fun? And hopefully the North, they aren't getting too bogged down with the score and just remembering that, they have their skills, and lacrosse is a game of runs. Who knows, they might come back after this timeout or in the second half and really put some goals in the net and power up. But, we're watching, we're enjoying it, and this is great competition.
So they've had the South has come away, I think, with four or five draw controls in a row. What options do you have if you're the North in terms of switching things up? What strategy? Is it just a matter of switching up players? Do you find somebody that is feeling it today?
I mean, you gotta contest. If you see that it's Barkate going and getting them one-handed, someone has to play better defense on her, let the ball roll out and make it a 50-50 ground ball. I do sense a little bit of hesitation from the North in just going for the ball. So if they're worried about not being able to beat her off the jump for the ball, then make it a ground ball.
The things you can do with when you are taking the draw to keep it lower, keep it on the ground, and prevent her from popping it up to herself like that, where she can use that reach advantage?
There are, but it just all depends on how she's taking the draw, and I think she just has a little bit more power and positioning where the ball needs to be. Again, we see her get that win. She's just doing her thing. She's getting them. That was a great ground ball from the North. See him taking it up the field.
Yeah, Barcade looking for Chloe Hunter cutting in front.
Yep, we've got Nye. Again, Nye's been fantastic getting in the midfield and running that ball up. So let's see if the North elects to kind of chill for a second, or if they just press it into the goal.
Alma Nye there with the one-woman clear. See a dodge on the wing from Skylar Johnson.
A great defensive check by Haley Moore, getting that ball back from the North, but great defensive play from the North, tried to get the ball back, but check called on them against the goalie.
Yeah, they had a double team there. It was a potentially very, very disastrous situation for the South. Never a good thing when your goalie's the one who turns the ball over, deep in your own end.
Right. And you can tell South is feeling it. They're fearless on this.
I was maybe feeling it a bit too much there, with a bit of a risky pass in front.
Yeah, we got Trina Chow moving the ball down the field from the defense, and she's been stellar on defense, really standing strong, and to get that interception. Let's see if she can roll the crease and get a goal for her team.
She does roll the crease.
She does roll the crease, but
Kaufman is there.
Kaufman is ready for that one. Maybe a great chance to change levels, throwing a fake there. Probably felt the heat from the defender behind her, but she had a couple seconds to throw a fake in there.
Here's Winkler for the South, carrying it up. And there's late help there. They did not manage to stop the ball in transition.
Another one from Winkler, just placing the ball.
Yeah, able to pull a face dodge, keep it in her topside hand, and go back and stick it just inside the far post there.
Yeah, and for a couple seconds she was making it seem like she was going to pass it off, but quickly turned and got that shot off.
Yeah, I believe that's 2 goals and an assist for her in the last 4 has really been the star offensively for the South, doing it both as a feeder in settled situations and there as a scorer in transition. Looks like Barcade again for the South on the draw, which when she's been feeling it as much as she had, it's hard to go away from the hot hand.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing kind of 2 different styles with the draw, but again, Barcade, she's just there. She's ready.
That wins it again over to Chloe Hunter, who runs into and over Trina Chow.
Interesting that they didn't call that a charge. I might have called that one a charge, but let's see Hunter off the free position.
And she there, instead of running in, it takes the one hop and let it fly. Goes top shelf just over the crossbar.
Yeah, I felt a little Nicole Levy inspiration off of that one, but a little high. Let's see how the South elects to get the next shot off.
Here's Barcade with the right to left split down the alley. Takes a left-handed crank that's blocked. Looks like.
Wow, wonderful defense. That teamwork by the North, and I think they'll need a lot more of that, just working together to get the ball back and take it up the field.
Yeah, Sloan Murphy there up to Bailey Cheatham, who carries it in between a couple of defenders, loses the ball, but it will stay with the North squad on the whistle. And it looks like she will get the free position shot. The righty on that left side, your strategy change up at all?
I think she could have taken that one with her left hand, but she had the whole right lane open. Could have elected to do it multiple ways, but that was just a great save.
That south transition attack strikes again.
That's tough. Lynn got caught off guard. She wasn't positioned, wasn't ready for that one, and the south took advantage of it.
It's like number 8, Shaylin Murphy on the goal there, headed to Fairfield. Yeah, here's that free position shot. Even really nice save there by Kaufman. Now take a look at the goal from Shaylin Murphy, or not. Whoa. It was a goal, though. Here it is.
Here's the goal by Murphy, just able to keep it moving, get that off stick side hit. Looks like we have a change up on the draw. Looks like they're giving Barcade a break, maybe.
Yep. Was Drew Hemerick taking it for the South there against Sloan Murphy for the North. The South comes up with it again.
That was an interesting one. North had a chance. That was tomahawk chop check right there.
Yeah, I think we'll get our first flag of the game on that. Maybe. So we'll get a free position center hash for Shea Henderson for the South, looking to give them an 8-goal lead. Bounce
Easy
shot,
save for
an excellent save there for Lang.
Save number 29, Ashley Lang.
We're going to head down to Josh on the sideline again, has Mackie Jenner.
With Mackie Jenner on the sideline, she is representing the North and We the North, Canada. Congrats on Toronto Raptors NBA title as well. What are you seeing out there? You guys are down early. What's the vibe like? How's the North team got to come back and win this thing?
You know what? It's all about the face-offs. They have a really talented face-off girl right now, and we just got to figure out, where to stand on the face-off circle and, how we can get those loose balls right away. We also just got to stop their fast breaks. We're getting a little bit lost on our slides pushing forward. So we just got to really work on, working as a unit, communicating with each other, and, hopefully we'll get a few goals in the next couple of minutes here.
You talk about communicating with each other. You're playing with girls. A lot of them you might not have played with before. What's it like to be a part of the best of the West and represent the best girls, on the West Coast?
You know what? It's awesome. I mean, being the only girl here from Canada is amazing. And I think, for me, I just want to open the door for younger girls from the West Coast of Canada, to have this opportunity. It's tough not really knowing anyone, but, they're all so friendly and, they're just being so supportive. They're an awesome group of girls, and I just really hope that more girls can get to come here in the next few years.
I love it. And you're going to Denver. Why is Denver the right fit for you?
You know what? The culture there is just unbelievable. It just makes you feel a part of the family right away. Even before I was committed, I just felt like I belonged there. Not too far from home either, so I'm super pumped to get there next year.
Awesome. Congratulations on all your success. Get back out there and let's get this comeback going. Awesome. Patrick, back to you.
Thanks, Josh. Couple of big plays there for the South. I think kind of continue a trend we've been seeing, which is Kaufman making big saves in goal, and then the South transition attack. That time is Gianna Denise with the goal, picking off a pass from the goalie and able to stick it into a wide open net.
Yeah, I mean, the South are seeing those seams, and if the North defense makes a mistake, it seems like the South's there to take advantage of that and get a goal. So it makes me happy to see Mackie Jenner just positive, ready to get back in the game and have a turnaround for her team.
Well, it's another draw control for the South. They will manage to keep this one in play.
What a play to keep the ball in play. And South working hard to keep that ball on their end.
What a battle. Jay Brown able to come up with a loose ball there, and the South is able to capitalize.
Yeah, looks like Shea Henderson's was ready, cutting, and got the ball.
Yeah, she continues makes it quite a run for the South here. It's a nice feed in front there from Jay Brown, who comes up with a loose ball after that fantastic save to keep the ball in bounce.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the ground ball stats for the South. So I'm sure they probably won, I think, 70 to 80% of all the ground balls.
Got a lefty versus righty draw. Is that how's that different from like a righty on righty draw?
I don't think it's necessarily super different. It just depends on the momentum. Again, you can push, you can pull on the draw. So it just depends on which way you're pulling or pushing. We got some shooting space call on the North team as the half winds down. I'm sure that North will have a lot of great points to discuss over the half, and I can't wait to see them come back.
Drew Hemrick there with the free position and an excellent save there by Lang in goal. Feet in front, good defensive play there to take the ball back for the North. And that is the end of the quarter there, with the South up 11-3 after the half. What do you do if you're the North to turn things around, Tari?
I think Mackie Jenner covered the most important part is the draw. How do we capitalize and utilize our strengths on the draw if they're not getting it right off that first draw? Having the teammates around the circle be in there, and then the redefend, the ride be a little more intense. I think sometimes the North defense getting caught flat-footed, especially on some of those face dodges, and then kind of scrambling and getting caught with some mistakes, some drop passes, etc. So just kind of tightening up the core skills, but staying positive, keeping their heads up, and playing hard.
And what do you do if you're the South to keep the momentum going?
I think if you're the South, you just keep doing what you're doing. They've identified right off the bat who their who their draw specialists are. So just keep doing that, and then I think just keep doing the exact same things they're doing now.
Awesome. We are going to take a quick break before we come back with halftime highlights and stats.
Adrenaline's been a great sponsor for us this year. We came in and got all new gear. We got some new jackets and some shooter shirts and some new uniforms. All this stuff's been really light.
It was light, it was comfortable.
The product on the West Coast, and that's spreading to the East Coast.
Hi, and welcome back to halftime of the 2019 Adrenaline All-American game. We're going to start off, we're going to toss it down to Josh, who's with Kelly Connors, the Adrenaline Women's Director, down on the sidelines to tell you what they thought of the first half. Josh?
Kelly Connors, the Sales and Events Manager for Adrenaline, the brains behind the operation, whether she wants to admit it or not. You have been a part of Adrenaline for a long time. What is so cool about being a part of an event, and what makes this event so special?
I think one of the biggest things is I've probably been at Adrenaline for close to 7 years now. And when I first started, probably the first 4 years, we didn't have girls at all. And it just kind of started because the brothers or the sisters of the brothers of all the guys events that we had. And it kind of grew from there. You know, from our tournaments and even to be here today, just the depth and talent out west has come a long way in the last 3-4 years. It's cool to see.
There's a lot of really good girls who are going to go on and represent Adrenaline, you know, after playing this game. You're from the East Coast, have moved to the West Coast. What makes West Coast lacrosse special and different?
Most of the programs out west are run by kids that grew up on the East Coast and kind of their transplants in different cities. So there's kind of that small world lacrosse community already built at the coaching level. And then we're starting to see those alums come back and really give back to their different areas. I mean, even tonight, today we have 2 alums that are coaching either team, which is really neat given it's only the second year. So
Totally. The South is up by 8 right now at halftime. What are you seeing? Who's standing out to you? What does the North need to do to come back?
I think they need to gel a little bit better. The South has a lot of kids from the same clubs, from the same areas, versus the North. There's a huge club out of the North called Tenacity, which they've always been a massive powerhouse, but they kind of spread into different regions, and I think there's a little bit more fluidness with the South, having known maybe their teammates a little bit better. Yeah, I think that they can come back. The talent's there.
I love it. Kelly, thank you. Patrick, back up to you for an exciting second half.
Thank you, Josh. Before we get started in the second half here, we're going to play a couple of highlights from the introduction banquet last night with all the players and their families. I had an opportunity to have dinner, hear from a couple of your speakers, and we had the introductions to the Western Lacrosse Hall of Fame. Peter Baum and Rourke Denver, a couple of players who were some of the original trailblazers of Western lacrosse. We're in the Western Lacrosse Hall of Fame. You can see all the players here, tossed on the jerseys, their headshots taken. We're back underway on the field. Sorry about that timing, a little bit off there. You can see the wrap up that video, but I'm sure you'd rather see the action on the field anyways, as the South comes away with yet another draw control. We'll look to attack with their offense again.
Yep, South back at it. I think they've really found their rhythm, and I'm hoping to see some more trick shots in the second half and see a little bit more of the South's dominant offense.
See, work the ball through X. We'll attack here on the right. The feed inside. What a finish there from Gianna Denise.
Yeah, that's a quick goal. 40 seconds into the second half, they're already getting another one on the board.
Little Irish dance celebration, I believe, going on out there. And there's some nice choreography there from the girls. You have Camden O'Donnell able to carry up the wing, draw the eyes of the defense, and then feed Gianna Denise.
Yeah, that was a great cut. Denise keeping her stick open and being able to get that shot out.
We'll go back to what has been maybe the most dominant component of the game for either team has been the South in the draw circle. We saw Maddie Barkate won 4 or 5 in a row, but it doesn't really matter who they've gone to. All of these South girls have found success on the draw.
Yeah, when we get a win for the North.
Amanda Morse taking it away is able to break that streak for the girls of the North and finally get them a possession.
And I think the North can take a deep breath and focus on getting the ball in the back of the net. If they want to close this gap, they're going to have to play smart and take care of the ball. Need to get that one back and take care of it.
Sloan Murphy pass inside.
Yeah, and there's
Trina Chow coming up with the ball to get the possession back for the North. Work it back down to Skylar Johnson from
Chow's
behind the cage.
Coming in clutch in those important moments, and she was right there ready to get the ball back and keep her team in the play. I think the South defense doing a great job of crashing on anyone who comes into the 8, especially getting those doubles. It's interesting that they've come up with that plan and figured it out so quickly.
Yeah, they have done a great job of hedging. Not against that one. This help did not come fast enough.
Yeah, it looks like Charlotte Swisher getting that ball in the back of the net for her team, trying to close that gap.
Coming right-handed down the alley here. Just a couple of steps inside the 8-meter, and the help defense was not quick enough as she's able to yank it far post.
Goal by number 18, Emerson Johnson.
All right, yeah, it looks like that was Johnson getting that goal for the North.
We'll go back to the draw circle again. Chloe Hunter for the South. Lines up, and that the North able to cut the lead to just 12-8, or sorry, to 8 goals, 12-4.
Yeah, that was a great draw by Hunter. She knew exactly where her teammate was and got it where it needed to be.
It's Chloe Hunter over to JoJo Gum for the South. On the draw, they'll line up with Drew Hemrick up top. Will look to initiate the offense. Rolls back and feeds inside. Finds a cutting Camden O'Donnell, who puts the shot wide. The South will back it up. Hunter picks it up off the end line. And we'll move the ball up top. Here's Hemrick again, off the pick. Gets the switch. She'll look to get to that right hand towards the middle of the field and is knocked over by defenders. We'll get the call. And I believe we'll be rewarded with a free position shot here for that aggressive dodge to the cage.
Yeah, she was determined to get in there and hopefully gets a goal and reward for her hard work.
She's going to set up 2 defenders to her right, but nobody to her left, so she has plenty of space to run in.
Oh, the shot just wide, but her teammates there to back her up and keep the ball with the South. Oh, great defense by the North. And
it's Amanda Morse carrying the ball up. Causes a turnover and moves the ball upfield to the North. We'll get a whistle. The ball will stay with the North on the quick restart.
I think something, too, of note that I'm sure viewers at home have noticed, and viewers here as well, is that quick restart. Something new that's been implemented in the game to make it move a little faster. What a great check by Hunter.
And the ball will go over to the South. Chloe Hunter starts with it behind the cage, throws it away out of bounds and back over to the North as Emma White picks it up. We'll move the ball up to Bailey Truex. Feeds in front. It squirts through and will end up out of bounds. As the South moves the ball down the field, an opportunity to attack here in transition with Camden O'Donnell, who loses the ball momentarily but gets it back with the whistle here. Nice job of the North of being able to prevent that transition there, get everybody back, and force the South to run their settled 7-on-7 offense.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like they're really trying to pressure even more on the South and not even let them in.
Here's Drew Hemrick coming across the top, trying to sweep to that right hand. Manages to get over down the alley. Shot that is saved, squirts over into the corner. The South will retain possession. Here's JoJo Gum over to Chloe Hunter. South, I think, doing a good job of working the ball around and really setting up their different matchups for different girls to attack.
Yeah, absolutely. Sharing the ball hasn't been just one player keeping the ball and going for it.
Nice little backhand attempt. Doesn't quite make it out of bounds to the end line, and the South hustles over to pick up the ball again, retain possession. It's been another difference in this game, is the number of multi-shot possessions the South has had.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like the South's just getting it back. They're doing a great job of being back there, back up the ball, and keep possession.
The underneath move with a backhand
great
shot.
Save.
But she will get the call there. And I think that Drew Hemrick, will end up with the free possession shot, one to the left of the center hash.
And she gets that one in, another bouncer. I think that's maybe the third or fourth 5-hole goal that we've seen.
She has been a player that has been attacking repeatedly here for the South, getting to the middle of the field to her strong right hand. Been able to set things up and finally gets one to go there with the bounce shot on the free position. Go back to the North. North finally managed to break the South's run of draw controls. They will go with Maya Lawless up against Maddie Barkate for the South, who returns after with another draw control win.
Barkate with that one-handed snag. Well, it looks like potential turnover for the South. Let's see if the North comes back up with this one.
Ooh, that was a collision. Gonna get a whistle. The ball, believe, is going to stay with the North here.
That was a foul on Johnson. I may have carded that one. I don't know. Maybe I'm old school.
That was, it was a big collision. Lawless pass in front is knocked down. And Brigger with the ball for the South. Of course, with 2 goals on each team. We'll get a look at each goalie for a half.
Somewhat of a dangerous clear, but the North's able to evade any issues and are moving it back up the field.
Here is Alexa Steffens. The ball down, moves it over to Bailey Cheatham in front, who is fouled. And will get the free possession, one step, and launches it wide. But the North will have back up there to retain possession. Sloan Murphy starting with it off the end line. Will pull away and look to feed, redodging into kind of a chaotic South defense. She moves the ball over.
Yeah, I think the North's best bet is to just go for it. Like we saw right there, that was a fantastic take. Not too much setting it up and trying to do cuts and things like that. It just seems like the best bet for them is just go for it.
Yeah, a couple of passes, and Maya Lawless there able to use her speed to get underneath past her defender, cut it back over in front, and keeps it in her right hand, but goes across the body to increase her angle. Some nice stick work there.
Yeah, it was a great twister shot.
We have 2 goalie substitutes. For the North, number 30, Riley Drollinger. For the South, number 27, Emma Bradford.
Back to the draw control circle, which has been really, if you're going to point at one thing in the game, has been the difference for the South. Maddie Barkate almost is able to come with it again, but gets some help from wing play from Haley Moore, able to come up with the ball. And another South possession fed by that draw control game. A nice shot in front there.
Great save by Drullinger, making sure that doesn't get back in the goal.
Able to come with a dangerous flip back to the goalie. Always hold your breath for a second there as a coach when you see your players flipping it back to the goalie from the front of the net. The North will look to clear the ball.
Yeah, great sequence of passes to make sure that the ball gets up there.
Here is Mackie Jenner, turned away in the dodge. Sloan Murphy will take a look, splits the double team, carries in front, and shoots it wide.
That was some great dodging, getting through that traffic. Short shot, just slightly missing the goal.
Here is Lawless attacking again. She will find the roll. It's Bailey Cheatham on the goal. slips the pick there out in front, rolls to the goal, and a nice feed by Lawless to find her.
Yeah, very quick movement by the North to get that in there, seeing a seam and taking advantage of it. You know, and they had 3 defenders on one. That leaves someone open, and that was great awareness to know that there was an open teammate waiting for the ball.
Goal by number 19, Bailey Cheetah. Assisted by number 4, Skylar Johnson. Correction, 14.
Which pulls the North within 13-6, just 7 goals now. Been able to come back. We're down 9 at one point, so we we'll see if the North is able to keep this momentum going and mount a comeback to make this one close.
Yeah, absolutely. I love hearing some cheering from the sideline from both teams, cheering on their teammates, everyone staying positive, keeping morale up high.
I believe we'll get a redraw. I'm no expert, but I want to guess that the ball did not go above their heads on that one, Tari.
I think that is what happened, or there might have been a foul on the draw. But we saw Barkate ready to take that into the offensive side for the South. Barkate again, they're just making it a little too easy for her. Not a lot of contesting going on, but you know, North's got to understand by now that if she gets the ball, it's going into the offense. The ride won't necessarily be the best way to get that ball back.
South will be deliberate. Will try to set something off ball here with some cuts. We'll get a dodge. It's taken down. That is Shaylin Murphy, looks like, who will be rewarded with the center hash free position shot. Lefty, some great defense there on the free position for the North to be able to get a stick on that shot and prevent the clean look at the goal. But in transition, the South able to take a shot wide, but I believe they're going to get a free position shot there.
Yep, got a shooting space call, brings them right back onto those hashes for another free possession. That's a great hash as well if she just goes kind of diagonal and fakes out the goalie. So this is Barkate. Let's see what she does with it.
Able to run it in, cut it front and over, and an incredible
Great
save there by Drollinger.
Now Drollinger able to follow that stick and know exactly where that shot's going to go off to help her team. Not much time for the North, but they're going to try and take advantage of it.
Lawless able to run past about 3 South defenders there to get in front and stick the left-handed shot high.
Yeah, Lawless has these determined goals. She's not trying to go down easy and, you know, making sure she keeps her team afloat.
I think that was maybe a bit of a funny release as she shoots it through contact. I think threw off the goalie there. Not a lot of velocity on it, but when your stick is impacted by the defender's stick, it leads to some wonky releases that can be really tough for a goalie to read. And as we get a timeout, or as we take a break from the action at the end of the third, we are we're going down to Josh on the sidelines.
Thank you. I'm here with Alexa Steffens, who's headed to Louisville. On the North, who's making a ferocious comeback right now. What's it like out there, playing with girls you haven't played with, maybe ever, representing Washington, one of the only girls, I think, from Washington, if the only one? How cool is it to play in an event like this?
It's so much fun, like, meeting all these girls, like, going from not knowing their name to, like, putting together, like, the best game of lacrosse. It's, like, so fun. And all these girls are so good, and so just combining all of our talent and just going out there and doing our thing, it's so much fun. And
you're going to Louisville next year. What makes Louisville the right fit for you?
It's such a college town, like everything sports and the family atmosphere of the team. That's like what I really want to go for with my college lacrosse. So.
Awesome. You guys are down 5. You've been mounting a comeback. Go get them.
Absolutely.
Patrick, back to you. Thanks, Alexa.
Thank you, Josh. We are here a little bit of a timeout in between quarters. Players rest. What's the message to your team if you're the North coaching staff, Tari?
Yeah, if I'm the North, I'm telling my team how fun it is to mount to come back and make it happen. We're seeing players like Lawless really taking charge and showing, you know, that there's a lot of fight left in them, and I think that they're just pumped up. You know, it's the last quarter. and it's a great chance to finish that comeback. If you're the South, I think be a little wary of a comeback. Don't just sit on your heels and think that the game's been put away because you're 5-6 goals ahead. They just have to understand that the game's not over yet.
We're going to take a quick look at a couple of highlights from the first half. Chloe Hunter weaving back in front on this for the goal just before the end of the first quarter.
That was one of my favorite goals from the first quarter, but also loved this one. Great sidearm release, hitting that top right corner.
Yeah, Anna Winkler had a couple in transition there in the second quarter. We're back to the opening draw of the fourth quarter. Looks like Maddie Barkate will take it again for the South. Has really been making a case for an MVP here at the draw circle, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Barkate's just taken full advantage, and we see Hunter with that draw control win. Looked like she wanted to take it all the way to goal. Oh, we got the BDD, but an awesome save by Julinger.
That was a heck of a feed in front from Hunter and a nice behind the back attempt. Really great plays all around there.
Yeah, absolutely. That was an awesome sequence. We see the North. Oh, great shot, but right into the turf. Goalie able to get that back.
Yeah, it was Amanda Morse for the North. As they will look to initiate a little bit of confusion over who had who.
Oh.
And Katie Collins is able to duck in front, but her shot rings off the post and out of bounds. A little bit of confusion over who had who from the South there.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity to take advantage, and I could see her asking for the ball. So just got to find those seams as they've done previously and get some more goals in.
Skylar Johnson there turned back as she redodges, runs through the crease, and we're gonna get the crease call as the ball. Or we're gonna get a foul call.
Yeah, it looks like she was in the crease, so the ball goes to the goalie. Tough call for, she's just trying to do the best for her team and get a goal, but time to redefend. It's interesting that no one's going to defend on the goalie. Maybe one of the higher up people, but letting the goalie kind of walk out, and great opportunity. Let's see if the North can pull it off by patience. Nice.
There is Jay Brown able to take the ball away and come in all alone in front to score and get another one back for the North, who slowly keep creeping closer. That is 8, pulls them back within 5.
Yeah, that was great. Seeing the mistake and having the patience to do a little dodge and make sure you get the ball in the back of the net. The North's got to keep taking advantage of those opportunities and make it happen. And 13 minutes is a long time in lacrosse, so I'm sure all of us watching are really enjoying it.
It's a little bit less time than usual, though, in an event like this with a running clock, but still certainly plenty of time. 5 goals in 13 minutes is certainly doable.
Absolutely, and Barkade almost had that win, but we see DeGroff getting that one, and it looks like we've got a couple players coming alive for the North.
Yeah, they were able to just tie her up long enough to let the players in the circle come in and make that a 3-on-3 draw instead of 1-on-1.
Yep, and that's the key. What a beautiful roll. Let's see. Nice.
Skylar Johnson.
Yep, Johnson getting a great dodge and a roll on the crease. Staying out of the crease, making sure that goal counts. And see, like I said, can't count those North girls out. Gotta know the game is a full 60 minutes to play.
No, that's absolutely true. Skylar Johnson there headed to my home state of Ohio to play for Grand Tierney at Kent State.
Let's take another look at this.
It's able to just get topside enough to wrap the shot around the goalie to the far side, the goalie hugging the post there.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like that whole right side was just wide open for the taking, and now she was able to sneak that goal in there.
Which again, it's one more back for the North. They're able to pull within 4 here as we get a timeout for the teams to talk things over.
Yeah.
If you're the South, what are you thinking here? You've just given up 3-4 in a row, and you're seeing your lead slip away.
Yeah, if I'm the South, put the foot on the gas again. I think they, I'm sure there's some fatigue, a little bit of tiredness. Obviously, they played, a lot of lacrosse, but there's a good amount of lacrosse left to play still. I think the North is just finding a groove. They figured out what they needed to do. We see a change on the draw control, but we're seeing Barkate on the outside, which means if Hunter's able to get the goal or get the ball up, Barkate can go in there and jump in and grab it. So again, whoever's on Barkate, looks like that's number 21, who is Taylor DeGroff. She needs to play strong defense on Barkate and let the other two players on the draw take charge of the ball.
Ricochets out there hard, a nice catch by Caroline Cheatham for the South. The shot goes wide.
Shot by number 21, Juliet Brown.
The South will look to set things up. They're 2 behind, try to run some off-ball action up top with 5 players. Chloe Hunter open in front. Won't make the pass. This time they do.
Oh, that was a sick goal by Hunter.
As Winkler finds Hunter after she cuts across and then cuts back and catches it in tight and is able to stick the finish there.
Yeah, and you see that fancy stick work, getting kind of a highlight reel goal in there.
Nice little backhand bounce shot. Really highlights the skill of the players at this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to make something like that look so effortless when the other team's mounting a comeback and just doing what you need to do, that shows a lot of versatility.
Yeah, has been Chloe Hunter. We've seen her display her feeding ability as well as her scoring ability. And defensive. We've seen her all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great Penn getting a great player in her. Potentially looks like maybe good enough to make an impact as a freshman, especially ability potentially all over the field, defensively, offensively, a lot of different ways you could utilize her at the college game.
Oh.
You get a bounce shot. I think the whistle preceded the shot.
Yeah.
There from Alexa Steffens.
That's something I wish we could change. I feel like if the ball is shot, during a whistle or right after a whistle, the goal should count. But as we see here, they're going to have a free possession. She's able to put that in the back of the net again.
So nice goal there by Steffens for the North, who pulls to within, pulls ever closer.
I'm still within 5, but North still has some work to do. We've got about 10 minutes, so a lot of time for them to do what they need to do.
They're finding success, especially with the type of offensive talent that you have on both teams in an all-star game like this. It's never the case that you can count somebody out.
Absolutely. And the North able to win that draw control. Momentum still kind of seems to be teeter-tottering between the teams, but
here's Lawless around a couple defenders. And a great shot. Yeah, that was really looked like a very deceptive release. Her body kind of said far post, but the ball said near post.
Yeah, I mean, Lawless was just taking charge, understanding that her team needs it, and they're within 3. Imagine they were down by 9 before, but back within 3.
And she's another player who kind of has stood out to me in terms of her speed and athleticism. That there's a lot of these girls when they play with their high school teams or even on the summer club circuit that are almost all the better athletes. And then it's always interesting to see, okay, when you take the best of the best, who are the players that look athletic even against players of this level. And
absolutely.
I think she has one that has stood out to me, certainly.
North getting that ball back again. Well, let's see if they can keep control of it.
Lawless comes up with it.
Now Lawless able to keep the ball in her stick.
Nice job defensively there by Shea Henderson to turn back Lawless's dodge in transition.
Yeah, absolutely, but the North's not able to keep the ball in their stick, and it looks like the ball's going to go back to the North.
Yeah, Trina Chow picks it up, throws it into play.
And I just got the tenacity for the North's team is amazing. and they're coming back. They're doing it.
Yeah, that was an excellent goal. They're really putting kind of the transition attack together that the South had early.
Yeah.
That time it is Bailey Cheatham.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, I mean, the North just has to go. They're, when they set their feet, they're giving the South's defense a chance to really hone in on them and stay stationed and keep marking. But when they're just bolting into the 8, into the scoring area, it's harder for the South to defend that, especially with their speed.
Yeah, it's a great job. You see the replay there. Cheatham choking up on her stick to protect it as she weaved through that traffic.
And let's see if the North North getting another draw control. Cheatham has been great on that side.
Yeah, really caught a favorable bounce there for the North, and with a little bit of hustle, able to come away with it.
Yeah, I'm loving the sense of urgency for the North, understanding, and I got to commend them. They've just stayed so patient, and they're able to get within one. Lawless again.
Coming off a pick, she really has done a great job there. Attacking, she is looking like the go-to player for the North.
Yeah.
Nice job of sending a pick, getting a switch, allowing her to attack that switching defender with her athleticism to run around him, and the composure and the skill to finish.
Absolutely.
Now you can see they're psyched up over there in the North huddle.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too. Mounting a fantastic comeback and having fun doing it. I think that's the key. I'm sure, their coaches have been able to keep the temperament for the teams pretty level-headed and just reminding them how much of an honor it is to play in the game, but also how fun it is to kind of be the underdog in the first half and have a chance to come back. If you look in there, we can see, the coach is addressing every player, looking around, making sure they're all hyped and ready to continue.
Now this is always a difficult coaching battle. You're up by 1. You're still in the lead if you're the South, but it's been slipping away. Momentum has not been in your favor recently. What's the message there?
I think the message is maybe not necessarily to wake up, but do you want the story to be that the South team came and crushed, or do you want it to be the South team kind of faltered at the end and the North were able to overtake them? So just a matter of finishing strong. You started strong, you played strong in the middle, and just show your best lacrosse, show your most complete game.
Going to bring Anna Winkler down from attack to take the draw.
And we're getting a redraw.
Potentially one that did not go above the draw players' heads. Looked like it kind of came out pretty horizontal there.
Yep. Yeah, that one didn't really get that high either, but looks like the ref letting them play with it, and the South team getting the draw control.
Winkler moves it up ahead. A nice pass over back to Winkler. She will settle it back up top for Drew Hemrick. Oh, sneaking up behind her there.
Yeah, it would have been a great play. Yeah, North defense been able to recover fairly well. And just not letting her get in there, not letting Brown get inside the circle.
Some great help defense there from the North against Jay Brown for the South. I think we get a foul call against Winkler.
Yep, foul behind the goal.
Winkler rolls back, carries to the center left, rolls back to her right, and sticks the shot just over the crossbar. Once again backed up, though, another potential multi-shot possession for the South, which has been a huge contributor.
Yeah, I mean, the South does a great job getting the ball back, but it looks like that's going to be a turnover for them. And we hear some cheers from, sounds like some North fans cheering. We've got 5 minutes, and they're only down by 1 goal, so let's see if they can move this ball up the field and even it up.
Yeah, time with a 1-goal lead, time
Great
really
check.
no longer an issue here. It's just about you just got to get the goal.
Yeah, that was a fantastic check. She got caught daydreaming a little bit, and South able to work together as they always do to get that ball back. Amazing ground ball.
Play with some great hustle to get 2 and 3 players over to the ball to knock it loose and win the ground ball battle there. The South in no rush here.
No, not at all. They're taking their time.
With 4 minutes, not quite enough time to, I think, to start thinking you can kill the clock just yet. But you certainly don't want to turn the ball over.
Wow, what a great save. Julinger again with the clutch saves, but
yeah, and Jay Brown wrapping on the left hand, maybe a little bit too low of an angle. Needed one more step there.
Yeah, but it looks like there's a foul called against the North, so the ball goes back to the South. Curious what that call was.
It's Jay Brown coming to the left hand, wraps back to her right, and finds in front. Oh, Anna Winkler with the backhand.
Amazing shot by Winkler. Yeah, hard to stop that when her back is to you. Not necessarily sure where exactly arms are going until the shot comes off, but they're rowing the boat to the win.
Get a repeat celebration here. But with up by 2 or 3 minutes left, there's still more than enough time here.
Yeah, absolutely.
A critical draw. The South will make some subs. It looks like we'll bring back, we'll let Anna Winkler take this draw again, but it's going to bring back Chloe Hunter and Maddie Barkate to the wings.
Yeah, and those are two of their strongest midfielders, strongest on the draw, so I'd be surprised if neither one of them gets this ball, but it all comes down to the defense on the circle.
Winkler able to almost have a chance at it. Maddie Barkate with a chance at it. Yeah. She will come up with it, up ahead to Chloe Hunter.
Barkate with that stick control, just able to keep it with her and get it off to Hunter, who takes it behind.
Yeah, no, with a 2-goal lead, with only 2.5 minutes left, in no rush to throw the ball away, trying to push transition if nothing was there. Here's Jay Brown working one-on-one. She'll carry left hand to the middle of the field, takes the shot, puts it high, and the South is there to back it up.
Shot by number 21, Juliette Brown.
Chloe Hunter with the feed in front and an excellent catch
feed.
and finish by Gianna Denise.
Yeah, great awareness, great feed by Hunter. Defense kind of watching a little bit, and Denise able to sneak in there.
That is one of the things that always impresses me watching high-level women's lacrosse is the off-ball cutting ability and the pinpoint feeds to find girls who have maybe not even a full step on their defender, but just half a step. The stick skills to catch and finish those at full speed on the run.
Absolutely.
Down to about 1:15 left. The South up by 3 with the draw.
And Hunter getting the ball off the draw again. She's been really monumental in getting the ball for her team.
Moves it ahead. Here's Brown will get, I want to say, a shooting space call.
Shooting space call, got a free position, 1 minute left in the game. The South showing that they still have some gas in the tank and they want to finish strong. It looks like she's going to whip this one. Goes a little
Winds
bit
up and sends it wide. In a running clock game, when you're up, not a bad move. Kill a little bit of clock there.
No, not at all.
There is Shaylin Murphy wrapping around the crease and sending it high. Backed up again by the South, who will look to eat off the last 22 seconds here. Feet up top, Jay Brown comes around the double team, rolls back, and is able to get her hands free for the shot.
Clock winding now. Let's see if they get one more shot off on this one.
Which, in an all-star game, they're potentially actually not looking to kill the clock just yet. There it is. Maddie Barkate with the ball in the front. Does not get the shot off.
I think she wanted to get one off, and it was just a second or two too late. But what a fantastic game by both teams. And the North coming so close to matching that comeback and finishing it off, going from being down by 9 and only losing by 3. I think that was a great charge by them.
It was. They made it a game. They got to within 1. And we saw it was great to see the South decided they were not interested in relinquishing that lead, able to battle back and put 2 more up. Speaking of Maddie Barkate, who ended the game with the ball there, is a player you might want to keep your eye out. Do you have a player you think for the MVP?
Yeah, I think, Barcade, but also Hunter was doing a great job all across the field, and I got to give it up to the goalies too. I feel like I have 4 or 5 players that I would crown MVP, but also a shout out to Lawless. She may not have been on the team that won it all, but she was so tenacious and putting her body on the line, doing all she needed to do to get the ball in the back of the net for her team.
We're going to throw it down to Josh with Charlotte North, who's the coach. Who's the coach?
We are now with Charlotte North, one of the coaches of the South squad, getting the 16-13 win from a ferocious comeback from the North. What did you see out of your girls today that helped you guys get the W?
I think they worked really well together, and they had fun. They communicated, and they played hard. We won some key draws, and our goalies played amazing, so it was a fun time.
Being from Texas and being a part of this game that's the best of the OS that Adrenaline puts on, how cool is it to see that there are so many amazing girls who are going to go on and represent the West and college lacrosse moving forward?
I think it's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of overlooked talent in the West, and to see them get to showcase their talent here at this amazing event is so cool to see, and I can't wait to follow all their careers.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you, Josh. Next up is going to be the MVP. I think it comes down to Barcade versus Hunter.
Yeah, I think the two of them really stood out, and I'm excited to see, who's crowned MVP. But, props to everyone on the field. I think every player played so well and really did what they needed to do to showcase why they're here. So, amazed and really impressed by all the players.
I got one more for you. What about an outside shot for Courtney Kaufman in goal in the first half for the South?
Kaufman was just amazing. Coming from, the national championships and seeing the way that those goalies played and how strong they played, it's always great to see that at every level. And I think Kaufman really stood strong for her team.
In a moment, though, we will find out who the MVP is. We're going to, I think, go down to the field with Josh, who it looks like is out there with Maddie Barcade.
We are here with Alex Cade, CEO of Adrenaline, to announce the MVP of the 2019 Adrenaline All-America game, Maddie Barcade. You guys will get in there. So we talked to you earlier in the game. What was the difference? You guys fought back a really awesome comeback from the North. What was the difference in the end there?
Well, the North started to come back, and they were playing really, really well, and we knew that we had a sizable lead and that we were going to have to dig in and find that energy we had earlier if we wanted to win. And so we made some adjustments and decided to make sure we were taking better shots and best shots and just played together and had a lot of fun.
What does it say about Western lacrosse and the future of Western lacrosse? You have a 16-13 game. What does it say about, what's coming for the future of Division I lacrosse?
I think that says we have a lot of great players out here, that we're really competitive, that we want to win, that we have the desire to win, and that hopefully we're going to go do big things for Division I lacrosse.
Awesome. Congratulations, girls. Thanks on a great game.
Yeah, and we're seeing some highlights from the game. Here's one of Barcade just getting the ball in the net. She did such a great job there and on the draw. Really, really hardworking. She was tenacious throughout the game and didn't take her foot off the gas.
No, but really the standout performance was in that draw circle. Seeing the highlights now. She both on the wing, on the circle, and taking the draws. Her ability to pop it up to herself and use that reach to pluck the ball out of the air. What got the South, a number of possessions there, especially in the middle of the game when they had that big run in the second quarter.
Yeah, South team all smiles, well deserved. They played, really great game, played some great lacrosse, and I'm sure their coaches are proud too. And here we have a great shot of the team taking one post-game picture to commemorate their awesome performance.
So, we talked about a couple of the MVP candidates. do you have another player in mind, somebody who maybe we didn't talk about as much, who you think is going to make an impact on the college scene? Somebody for Division I fans to keep an eye on.
Let me take a peek at my notes and my list here real quick.
I got one. What do you think of Sloan Murphy for USC?
Yeah, I mean, Sloan Murphy was great stick work, really great on the field. But I was going to point out Bailey Cheatham. I think she played fantastic and was really always there. I think someone else too, Alma Nye was. I mean, if the ball was on the ground, she was there. She had the ground ball and she would just sprint down the field and get it for her team, for the North. So, yeah, just a great performance from her as well. I think someone will definitely have to keep an eye out for. And Jay Brown on the South team as well played absolutely amazing. And then, of course, the goalies. I come back to the goalies that we saw on the field. Kaufman, Julinger, just absolutely phenomenal.
What about one more for you? What about Maya Lawless for the North?
Yeah, I mean, that was my second pick for third pick for MVP. But I mean, if there was gonna be a complete comeback, it had to start with Lawless. The way she was taking charge of the ball and taking it into the scoring area, I think that she really stood out. And yeah, it's definitely a performance to be proud of and someone to keep an eye out for at UC Berkeley.
Any concluding thoughts you want to take us out with, Tari?
Yeah, I think that this is such an amazing event, and I'm so proud to have taken part in it. It was so much fun to watch these players play and to cheer them on. And shout out to Adrenaline for broadcasting these games, the awesome coaches for coaching, and everyone who helped put this together and growing the game and giving these young women an opportunity to showcase their skills. Oh, and follow me on Twitter @officiallaxgirl. I'm really funny on the internet, so do that.
Really, Tari, how many people aren't following you?
You know what? It's actually surprising that some people do not follow me, and I'm very offended. Just kidding. I don't know. I guess a lot of people follow me, but if you don't, you should.
I agree. I have been a longtime follower of Tari on Twitter and can highly recommend her.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Anyways, with that thought, we are out for the women's game. We will be back with you at 3 p.m. Central in about another hour, 4 p.m. Eastern, for the boys' game.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Adrenaline's been a great sponsor for us this year. We came in and got all new gear. We got some new jackets and some shooter shirts and some new uniforms. All this stuff's been really light.
It was light, it was comfortable.
Product on the West Coast, and that's spreading to the East Coast.